Hey guys, welcome to another video. So today I'm going to bring you guys along with me on 2 markets in one weekend to sell my crocheted plushies. So it's Saturday morning right now. We're going to leave for the market pretty soon. So when we get there, I'm going to show you guys my setup and hopefully I can update you guys along the way on how it goes. And after, I'm going to give you guys a whole breakdown of both markets after the whole weekend. This was my setup on Saturday, so my table is pretty full, but at the end of the day, it gets pretty empty. This was my setup on Sunday. As you can see, I had to do it differently because of the big pole that was in front of my booth. So for this one, people could walk in. Hey guys, so it's Sunday night, so I didn't even film anything yesterday after the market because I had sold out of hot dogs yesterday and I wanted to make more for today, so I stayed up till like 1 a.m. making hot dogs and I just didn't take a break to film, so sorry about that. And I didn't film this morning before the market, so I'm just gonna give you guys all the details right now. So I did really well yesterday. I think I was the only one that was selling crochet plushies yesterday, so I think that was really good. But today there was one more person selling crocheted plushies, and my setup was a lot different today than it normally is because the place that my booth was, there was like a post right in front of it. It was like a light post or something. So if I were to do my setup the way I normally do it, it would be like really tight for people to walk past, so I made it so that people can come in. So I don't know if that had something to do with it, but I did not do as well today. I still paid off my booth fee though today, and I made some sales. So yeah, I'm gonna give you guys all the details about the whole weekend, but I definitely did a lot better on Saturday than I did on Sunday. Okay, so yesterday on Saturday, I made a total of $584 in sales, and the booth fee was $70. So that would leave me with $514 for yesterday. And today, which was a lot slower, I made $228 in sales, and again, the booth fee was $70. So that would leave me with $158. So when we add those together, after taking the booth fee out, we get $672, and the square fees were $7.43. So this weekend I made a total profit of $664.57. So I'm just very happy that I did very well yesterday because today was not that good. It was very slow, like in general, because it was really hot out. Like I was just sitting there and I was literally sweating so much, so I can't even imagine walking around and just, you know, shopping. So I think that affected it. The fact that there was another vendor selling crocheted plushies, and the fact that there was a big light pole in front of my booth. So yeah, I think it was just a bunch of small factors like that, and I ended up not having such a good day today, but I did very well yesterday. So now I'm gonna do a whole breakdown of everything I sold. So I'm gonna tell you guys how many of each item I sold out of the amount that I brought. And I'm gonna tell you guys how much I sold that item for, and if I have a picture of that exact item or something very similar that I made, I'll put a picture up here for you guys to give you an idea of what it was. So starting with chicken nuggets, which are usually some of my best sellers. So I started with 15 chicken nuggets and I sold 8 of them for $8 each. I actually sold all those chicken nuggets yesterday. I didn't even sell a single nugget today. I started with 3 mini dinos and I sold all 3 of them for $12 each. I started with 3 mini mushies and I sold one for $10. I started with 5 octopals and I sold one for $15. So those are just regular octopus plushies, but they don't have safety eyes so that they're safer for babies because the safety eyes can be a choking hazard. I started with 4 snakes and I sold 2 of them for $25 each. I started with 2 loveys and I sold one for $25. I started with 2 small squids and I sold one for $18. I started with 4 elephants and I sold 3 of them for $25 each. I actually made 2 at the market today while I was sitting there, and I sold one of those today. I started with 2 small bees and I sold one for $12. I started with 3 octopus plushies and I sold 2 of them for $15 each. I started with 4 regular chickens and I sold one for $18. I started with 4 mini chickens and again I sold one for $12. I started with 10 silly frogs and I sold 3 of them for $8 each. I started with 3 octopus keychains and I sold all 3 of them for $8 each. I started with 1 butterfly keychain and I sold it for $3. I started with 6 mini whales and I sold 2 of them for $8 each. I started with 5 chunky octos and I sold 3 of them for $10 each. I started with 2 mini octos and I sold one for $8. I started with 1 medium dinosaur and I sold it for $22. I started with 1 small axolotl and I sold it for $18. I started with 8 hot dogs and I sold 7 of them for $25 each. So I say I started with 8, but I had 4 yesterday, sold all 4 of them, and then I made 4 again last night. And so I started today's market with 4 and I sold 3 today. I started with 2 smaller jellyfishes and I sold one for $24. I started with 6 small birds and I sold 5 of them for $12 each. I started with 1 small turtle and I sold it for $18. And lastly, I started with 3 big turtles and I sold one for $25. So that's a total of 55 items that I sold. So that's not bad, but I'm really lucky that I had yesterday's market because just today was slow, but with having both days, it was pretty good. So I guess that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the market vlog and breakdown. Definitely stay tuned if you want to see more videos like this. I do a lot of markets and I always do videos about them and tell you guys what sold and what didn't, what my best sellers were, and all that stuff. So I will see you guys next time. Bye!